I want to thank you for being on our webinar today or for watching the video if you're seeing it afterward. What we're going to do is we're just going to cover very briefly some of the benefits of getting involved with Worth Unlimited as what we call a referral partner. It has a great program called the Worth Account, and we market it strictly through word of mouth, through a network of referral agents and referral partners. We call our system Refer and Earn. And it's very easy to create more income with Worth Unlimited on top of whatever else it is that you do. We actually are a great partner for people in certain professions. Real estate, mortgages, lending, financial planning, accounting, etc. All of those professions are perfect referral partners for Worth Unlimited. We can save your clients a lot of money, make you look like a big hero, and put thousands more dollars in your pocket every month. However, really anybody can refer and earn with Worth Unlimited. And in the past, some of our best referral partners have been hairdressers, people that work in professions where they talk to homeowners. I had a swimming pool guy who was awesome and was constantly referring me people. So anyway, it's very easy to make extra money by simply referring. You don't have to sell anything. Your reputation is safe with us because we have an A+ rating in the Better Business Bureau after over 10 years of selling this program, and we've won numerous awards. But really, what is Worth Unlimited and what is the Worth Account? Well, the Worth Account, very simply, is like a financial GPS system. It's just like a GPS system for your car. And just like your car gets you to the quickest way to your destination using the least amount of gas, so basically saving you the most money, our program gets you to your financial goals, okay, which for most people is being debt-free. Okay, our program is a banking and financial management system that keeps you laser focused on eliminating debt, building wealth, and achieving whatever your financial goals are. It's an amazing financial tool. $2.5 million went into its development. There's nothing like it on the market except the Worth Account. I'm not going to get into a lot of the details of why it's so different from anything else out there because I'm going to show you a video. When we get to the end, I'm going to point you to where you can go watch a video to learn more about that. But one of the best things about this is that we have a huge target market because who has debt in the United States? Pretty much anybody. Okay, about 80% of people have debt and about 40% of people have mortgage debt on top of other debt. That means that at least 50% of the people you talk to out there are going to be good candidates for this program, if not more. Okay, we have a very easy method of distribution. As I said, you're not required to sell this program, which means you don't have to learn the whole program A to Z. You just need to know enough to kind of give the broad strokes to your people, get them interested in learning more, and then you actually have the opportunity to offer them a free savings analysis. And that actually will pinpoint for your client exactly what date they can be debt-free, what month and year, guaranteed based on our program, and how much money they'll save, to the dollar amount, okay? Now, we base those savings analysis on the way they're spending their money currently today, which people love because it means that they don't have to significantly change their budget or lifestyle. So anyway, you just offer your clients a free savings analysis, and then we do all the rest. We do the sales, etc. So that means that you can create a lucrative income stream, full or part-time, from day one. Okay. Now, how did our company get started? Well, I'm going to give you a little background here. Our two main principals are Skylar Whitman and John Waschenko. And Skylar and John have been best friends since they were 8 years old. And when they were growing up, their goal, their dream in life was to actually start a business together. And after they got married and started having their families, they started a mortgage company in Utah in the 90s. And it very quickly grew to be one of the fastest growing companies in the state of Utah. And they named that company Accelerated Equity because they had this very specific vision of helping young families get their first home, pay that home off quickly so that they could make that debt-free home the basis for their financial security. And to that end, they actually gave their clients free seminars and coaching to teach them how to knock that mortgage down quickly, okay? But they realized a significant problem early on, which was despite all this, their clients already after a couple of years were coming back to them looking to refinance because they needed to do what? They needed to cover consumer debt. And you and I both know what happens when people do that. They extend out their mortgage another 30 years. They pay off their credit cards or car loan or whatever it is, but then they go right back to using those credit cards again. And in a couple of years, they're in the same position. They basically start using their home like an ATM machine. So they recognized that this was a serious problem, and they went about developing a better tool. They put $2.5 million into development of the Worth account. And they knew it would work. It was just math. They knew the software was solid. What they didn't know was the human factor. Would people really find it easy to use, and would they stick to it? Because, of course, there's a ton of debt programs out there. And there's a tons of different programs that can help people manage their finances, but none of them are effective if people don't actually stick to their plan. Okay, so they wanted to see if people would. They had put some little tools in the software that they thought would motivate people. So they sold it to 400 people and let them use it for over 1.5 years. They went back to them between 1.5 to 2 years, and they found that 97% of the clients had stuck to the program. Now think about that. That's huge. If you're in financial services, do you have 97% of your people sticking to their financial plan? Of course not. We know that statistically out there, only about 11 to 14% of people will stick to a financial plan past the first year or two. Okay, so 97% of people sticking to it after almost 2 years is significant. Okay, we also found that our average client was getting 20% better results than what our savings analysis had projected for them. Over half of our clients were getting those better results. And to this day, we have over 70,000 clients using the program, and our average client still gets 20% better results than what we originally project for them prior to them getting on the program. We know we're moving in the right direction because, we've started winning all kinds of awards. Back in 2008, we won the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award. If you're not sure what that is, Google it. Okay, you'll find Starbucks, FedEx, some of the biggest companies in the world have won that award, and it is an international award. We won it for the Utah region in financial services. We've also been featured on the covers of numerous financial and trade type publications. Mortgage Planner, Broker Banker. Twice we've won the Editor's Choice Award from Personal Real Estate Investor Magazine. Okay, while this program is really designed for an individual, like a homeowner, we like to say our target customer is mom and dad, 2.5 kids, and a mortgage. Okay, however, real estate investors love our program because you can plug up to 20 properties in the same program and manage them all. So for a real estate investor that's trying to develop a buy and hold real estate portfolio of rental properties, we can actually help them get those rental properties free and clear much quicker so that they can increase their positive cash flow more rapidly. That means they can increase their portfolio faster, or they can increase their cash flow faster. Again, I mentioned your reputation is safe with us. We have an A+ rating in the Better Business Bureau, both our parent company and Worth Unlimited. And that's after over 10 years of selling this program. What does that actually say to you? Okay, well, hopefully it says to you what it says to me, which means that our program works. It does what it says it's going to do. Our customers are happy with our program. An A+ rating in the Better Business Bureau also means that we're taking care of customer service. Okay, our clients get unlimited customer service with this program. When they get our program, they need help anytime. All they have to do is pick up the phone, and we're there for them. Okay, and also it means that our clients are happy with the process that they went through when they were deciding to get the program. And that's very important too, because of course, remember, all of our marketing is based on referral. Okay, so if people are not happy with the process that they went through, are they going to refer other people? Of course not. Okay, so all of that ties in together, and our A+ rating says a lot. Now, very quickly, there's kind of three main working parts to why our program is able to achieve what it does. One of those is its simple functionality. It was originally designed as an accelerated mortgage program, and that was its one sole purpose. However, over the years, because we're on version 5 of the program, now a little segue, I bought version 1 of it myself, and I'm now on version 5. One of the other things our clients get is free upgrades for life. Okay, so I got each upgrade as it came out. Didn't cost me a dime. I had free customers and tech support to help me with the new features. beautiful. And I love this new program. I'll tell you why in a little bit. But anyway, it originally started as an accelerated mortgage program, but now it's an overall debt payoff program and financial management system. So we have a lot of people that use the program even after they become debt free to manage their finances, okay? Because of course, the biggest part for a lot of people in managing their finances is staying on track, right? Is staying motivated with their financial plan and not devolving into bad financial habits, okay? Now, another part of this program is how it works as a wealth building tool. And again, once people are debt free, they can continue to use the program to build wealth quicker. I had a customer who I talked to actually about 2 years ago, and he had paid off all of his debt after about 6 years using the program. And he quit using it at first. Then after about 6 months, he realized that he had slipped back into some of his spendthrift ways, spending money he didn't really need to be spending on things he didn't need to be spending it on. And so he went back to using the program, and he used a little workaround solution that I had told him about, which was basically he put his retirement account into the program as if it was a debt, just pretending it was a debt. And so the program helped him manage his money and put more money into that retirement account. And he told me he'd been doing it about a year, and he went back and looked, and he had put almost twice as much money into the retirement account as he normally put into it because the program helped him do that, okay? Now, the third part of how this works, again, the third moving part, is the fact that the client is never gone from us. The client is always part of the Worth family. When a client gets this program, they are getting a program for life. They are part of the Worth family for life. They get unlimited customer support and client support, coaching and education for life, and they get unlimited upgrades. So you never know when the next upgrade is going to come along with some great new feature. One of the new features I love the most is the reporting features that help you do your taxes at tax time. And I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go along. But there's also two main reasons why the program is able to work, two sides to the coin, in effect. One is all the geeky math stuff. Just like a financial GPS system gets you to the quickest, our program gets you to the quickest way to zero debt, paying the least amount of money. Now, how important is that? Well, it's very important. Have you ever looked at a mortgage amortization schedule? Okay, you look at a 30-year mortgage and you're looking at that payout over a long period of time, you play around with it, you can see that the difference between getting out of debt the fastest possible way versus getting out of debt a slower way, one that takes you an extra 2 or 3 years, can actually cost you an extra $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in interest. Okay, so getting out of debt the fastest possible way is a mathematical thing. That's why our program is not like nothing else out there on the market, because there's no program out there on the market today that mathematically calculates for you in real time exactly how much money you can send today to that debt to get you to the quickest way to zero debt. Okay, there's no other program that does that. So that's part of it, okay? The fact that it's actually mathematically going to give you the correct answer every time. But the other part is the psychology, because as I said, none of these financial programs are going to help you if you don't stick to them. So the psychology part of it is very important, and I'm going to show you one of our computer screens in a little bit. I'm going to point out some of those psychological tools that we've built into the software that get us that huge amount of stickiness with the program. Now, this is very typical of the savings that our clients are getting with the program. They're a little higher than average savings, but of course, savings vary across the country. This is a $200,000 mortgage. This person able to achieve a balance on their mortgage in 1 year that would normally have taken them about 5.5 years to get to. Think about that. They jumped ahead in their mortgage over 4 years, okay, in the first year. They're going to be paying this mortgage off in a little bit over 10 years, and they're going to save a total interest savings of $161,000. That's what I call the front end savings. That's just the beginning of what they're going to be saving, though. And again, I'll explain that a little further as we go along as well. But our typical client is saving over $100,000. Our average nationwide. Now, in certain areas, like for instance, California, where real estate and incomes are a little higher, that number can be as much as double that for California. Our average time to being debt-free for our clients is about 7 to 12 years. That's the sweet spot. Again, after the first year, over 95% of our people are still on track with this program and well on their way to actually achieving their goals much faster. And then, again, our average client gets 20% better results. Now, that's based on the savings analysis, which you actually are seeing a copy of here. Now, to get the savings analysis, what we do is we ask our client for their debt numbers. Okay, now those debt numbers are very generic. We don't ask our clients for anything that could lead to identity theft. We don't ask them for their social security number. We don't need their account numbers. We don't need the name of their mortgage company, none of that. All we ask them for is, what are your balances? What are the interest rates? And what are the monthly payment amounts for each of your debts? Then we ask them for an idea of their average take-home pay. Okay, that's take-home. And how much money they generally have left over at the end of the month. Those are all the numbers we need, okay? And from that, we can actually show them how, without changing their budget or changing their lifestyle, because we're basing these numbers on what they're already doing, we can show them what they can be saving using our program. Particular case, they are actually saving $130,000, okay? Almost $130,000 and $200, okay? They actually have over $500,000 worth of debt, okay? So that's what, about a 20% savings for them, a little over 20% savings on what they were going to have to put out there in debt and principal payments, okay? But it's actually more than 100% savings on the interest, because they are contracted to pay over $200,000 in interest, but with our program, they're going to pay only $87,000. They're going to save $126,000 in interest, and they're going to save $4,000 in mortgage insurance premium. Okay. Now, you may or may not remember what mortgage insurance is. It's actually an insurance that your lender requires you to have on your mortgage until you have a certain amount of equity built into the property. It doesn't provide any benefit to you at all. It's there for your lender only. And so after you have a certain amount of equity, you're allowed to cancel it. So because they'll be able to cancel it much quicker, they're going to save about half of their money on that mortgage insurance as well. So they're going to save about 20 years off their mortgage. Now remember, I told you there's a difference between front end and back end savings. Their front end savings is $126,000, but their back end savings is here. Now what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that every month they're having to send out a mortgage payment and payments to their other debts. And let's say that's $1,500 a month. It's going out of their checking account every month to pay off debt. Well, if they're paying off everything 20 years early, then they've got 20 years worth of $1,500 worth a month of money that's now available to them. And if they actually just stuck that in a savings account at 1% interest, at the end of the time that they normally would have just been getting their mortgage paid off, they could have almost $1 million sitting in that savings account. Now, that's 1% interest. Do you think people can find things to put it in that's more than 1%? Of course, okay. And do you think everybody's going to do that? Of course not, okay. Very few people are going to be able to stick to that exact budget because they're going to be so excited once they're debt-free, they're going to start spending a little more money. And that's only natural. They're going to improve their lifestyle, take more vacations, enjoy life today. But let's say that they're just disciplined enough to put half of that aside, okay. Wouldn't about $500,000 extra on top of whatever else they have retirement-wise be great? Okay, that would be a boon to many, many people. Now, client testimonials are something that I find very, very compelling. You can go look at ours. We actually have video and written testimonials. You can tell they're all from real customers. You can even tell the video ones are actually real customers. They're not actors. They're just people that loved our program so much that they allowed us to just video them while we asked them a series of questions and let them answer them. And then we just edit them down into, some nice little snippets of information. But you can see what people really think about our program. Okay. Now, in the written testimonials, you can actually tell too that some of them are really just silly. They're like, oh, I love Bob, my customer service guy. And then some people are like, oh my gosh, I love this program. I saved like $100,000, you know. One of our most well-known clients is Mark Victor Hansen, who wrote a little book called 1 Minute Millionaire. For years, 1 Minute Millionaire was a bestseller on the business book side. And Mark Victor told me that he was saving $600,000 plus in interest on his mortgage using our program. T. Harv Eker is another business writer. He wrote a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. And T. Harv uses our program as well. Also gave us a ringing endorsement, as did Brian Topper, who is the publisher of Broker Banker Magazine. Now think about this. It's a magazine for the mortgage banking industry, and the publisher of that magazine uses our program to pay off his mortgage, okay? He broke a little rule he had about not personally endorsing programs in his magazine, and he actually gave us for the first time a personal endorsement of our program in the pages of his magazine. And then we get emails like this all the time, which is where we get a lot of the testimonials that you'll find on our website, is right from emails that we get from our customers. This is a screen of the program. And remember I talked to you about how we had what I called little psychological tools built into this. If you look up at the top of the screen, and sorry, I kind of went too far. If you look up at the top of the screen, you will actually see these little boxes up here. We call them dashlets. And you'll notice they have a little plus sign down here. You can actually customize what you see in your dashlets. But in this particular case, what we're wanting to see is how many years we have to pay off, okay? How much interest we're going to be paying total, how much our potential interest savings is, and how much have we already saved using the program. Now, all of these tools combined actually become quite motivating to our customer. You know, when people go out and spend money, they get kind of like a gratification from spending money. They're excited about what they just bought. They feel good. You know, there's psychological needs that are served by people spending money. Most of the time, you get no gratification at all from not spending your money, but you do with our program. Okay. And that's why our program works so well. And that's why so many people stick to our program, because they can see how they're doing well. They can go on their software anytime and see exactly how much money they've already saved. And if this was you and you were only 6 months into using the program, wouldn't you be excited to see you'd already saved $23,000? And that's very typical, because even though amortized, our savings on the program is about $900 in interest per month of use. Most of that interest to savings is really up in the front. And if you understand how a mortgage amortization schedule is set up, you understand why most of the interest savings is up in the front. Now, there's other little features here that help motivate people and help people to achieve their ultimate goals. One of them is this little true cost feature, which people can use to see what things actually really cost them. Okay, and it helps people make better financial choices. Now, I actually had some customers that used it to allow their 16-year-old to decide whether he wanted to get a brand new car and all the associated extra expenses with a brand new car, or a nice $5,000 used car. And after plugging both of the options into the software, the teenager made the smarter choice and went with the, you know, nice, reliable used car that wasn't going to put him in hock for the next, 6 years. This is a case study of a couple of my clients, Tony and Rhonda. Tony and Rhonda, when they got on the program, they had 28 years left on their mortgage, plus they had 11 other debts. When they first got on the program, it said that they were going to be debt-free in about 12 and a half years. Okay, but after using it for less than 9 months, they were ahead of schedule by about 6 months already. Okay, it had dropped down to under 11 years for their payoff. Well, why is that? They had no idea. Okay, I personally speculate that it's because once people start using the program, they just psychologically and subconsciously become more sensitized to money. And so they're more reluctant to spend money when they're out there. So their impulse purchasing goes down immediately. But it did get them excited. And so they started playing around with their budget. And within a very short period of time, they had made some tiny changes to their budget. And they had taken that 12 and a half year payoff down to a little over 9 years. Okay. Now, did that actually end up happening for them? No, because guess what happened? The economy crashed. Okay. And just like it did for everybody, it affected them. But Tony told me the program was a lifesaver because he lost his job when the economy crashed. And if they had not been on the program, he told me he is sure they would have lost their home. But because they were on the program, they'd already paid off a lot of their smaller debts. So they had much less outgo every month than they did before. And the program also was able to show them that they would be okay on just Rhonda's salary for about a year before they would run out of money. So that gave Tony the courage to go back to school, take some classes, and change careers. Okay, so he was real happy about that. Ended up making more money in his new career than he had been at his old. Okay, so, you know, most people would not have had the courage to do that without using our program, because most people would have just panicked and grabbed the first job that they could find that came along, even if it wasn't making as much money as they were used to. Okay, so again, this program is really the closest thing to a financial superhero that you're going to find. Okay, your clients are going to love it. You're going to save your clients on average over $100,000 in interest as they're getting debt free. And think about it. What is your core profession? Are you in real estate? Would you like to be able to show your real estate clients how not to just be real estate buyers, but how to be real estate investors? How to show them how, once they have their own home paid off or most of the way to paying it off, they can now invest in a rental property. Because I tell you, if people retire with a free and clear home and with 2 or 3 free and clear rental properties, okay, they're pretty much set. Now, what else could you actually do? Well, if you're in the mortgage business, how often are your people refinancing with you? Okay, a new interest rate comes along. People like to take advantage of that and refinance. However, most of the time, they don't have enough equity in their home to really make that make sense. Okay, with our program, people build equity much faster in their home. So whether it's that they're buying a new home sooner, or whether they have more equity so they can maybe do a refi, tap into that equity and use it to go, you know, get some other property, they're going to be able to do it a lot faster with our program. Also, you're going to find that if you're in the lending type of profession, our clients have a much lower default rate than anybody else out there, because of the fact that our program helps people to be better money managers. Okay, so you're going to lower the default rate. So if you're a bank, a credit union, a mortgage company, what you pay as interest for the money that you borrow in order to then re-lend back out, is that affected by your default rate? Okay, is your personal bonus affected by your default rate? Okay, big picture. Okay, now what do people get when they get the program? They get to use it for life. They get free upgrades. It actually has a new feature that's going to be coming out where it's going to be able to integrate with an IUL, an Index Universal Life Insurance Policy. It has live transaction updates. Those are optional, but they actually make it very simple to update the program because it really does most of that automatically. We have the true cost feature. We have other tracking tools. We have reporting features. As I mentioned, I love it because the reporting features help you do your taxes at the end of the year. We have the ability now to create custom tags for the expenses going into the program. So for instance, I go to Office Depot today and I spend $50 on office supplies. I log into my software tomorrow and that transaction is already showing up in my software. And all I have to do is tag it with the office supplies tag. And at the end of the year, I can print out a report on just my tags and use that to do my taxes. Okay. Now, I taught tax law for almost 9 years before I joined this company. And I know for a fact that the majority of people out there overpay their taxes by thousands of dollars a year simply because they're not properly tracking their tax deductions. So if this program, if all it did was help people to save money on their taxes, it would be worth the investment in the program. Okay. Now, the other thing it actually does for people is it improves credit scores. Now, I've had clients tell me that they've seen their credit go up by 50 to 100 points the first 6 months to a year they've been on the program. Okay, if they don't already have perfect credit, of course. Now, what does that do? Well, for the client, it means that any other money they borrow from here on out, they're going to be able to get a lower interest rate on it. Okay, so a better credit score could save somebody another $100,000, another $200,000 in their lifetime because they're paying less of an interest rate for future mortgages. Does that make sense? Okay. And then for you, of course, if you're in the lending industry, them having a better credit score basically means they're going to make your job a lot easier as well. Okay. And of course, they get continuous customer support, coaching, and education with the program. Now, how do you make money by referring your clients? Well, it's very easy because, as I mentioned, you don't have to sell anything. Okay. The first step is simply just to ask your client, would you like to be debt free? How would your life be different if you had no debt? If your mortgage was paid off, you had no debt at all. Would life be a little less stressful? Would you be able to enjoy life a little bit more? Okay. If I could show you a program that could have you debt free in as little as, say, 7 to 12 years, and that's if you had a brand new mortgage. Okay. Could be even less if your mortgage is mostly done. Okay. If I could show you a program that could have you debt free in, say, a third of the time, and if that program could save you tens of thousands of dollars, would you be interested in maybe spending 20 to 30 minutes taking a look at that? Okay. Just ask them. Okay. And then when they say, yeah, I'd be interested in taking a look at it, then say, well, I can get you set up for a free savings analysis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Sue or Bob or Jim give you a call, and they're going to set up a time when you're going to be in front of your computer, and they can actually do a free savings analysis and show you exactly how much money you can save with this program. And what you're going to really love about it is that you're going to be able to save this money without changing anything about the way you're handling your finances. You're going to basically, your budget's not going to change in any significant ways, and your lifestyle is not going to change in any significant way. Okay. That'd be pretty great, wouldn't it? Okay. So basically, get them set up for the savings analysis. Our home office does the presentation, the savings analysis. They do any follow-up, they close the sale, and you get paid. Okay. If you're curious about how you get paid, we have a great little video that talks about our compensation program if you become a formal referral partner. And when I say formal, I mean you actually officially join our company. And that's at the tinyurl.com/worth commission website address. Okay. Now, you can actually get started with absolutely no cost to you. You don't even have to formally join the company. And I can explain to you how you can get started at no cost if you just give me a ring. Now, commissions wise, commissions are on average starting at around $500 for each client you refer over. Now, I say on average because the pricing for the program varies according to how much money it saves people. So it could be a little more, it could be a little less. If you formally join our company, you actually can earn up to $1,000 in commission. But let's say it was at the low end of that and it was only $500. Well, you just refer over 4 people a month, 1 a week, that get the program, and that's an extra $24,000 a year. Okay, bottom line. And then also when you join our company officially, you actually have the ability to earn overrides off other people you refer to our company that also start referring. So if you're a real estate person, you've got a bunch of other realtors that you talk to all the time, mention us to them. Okay, they join and you're going to actually make that override. So if you were doing 4 a month yourself and you had 5 fellow associates that were doing, say, 2 a month, that's an extra $5,000, $6,000, maybe $8,000 or $9,000, frankly, more in income a month for you. Okay, it's actually very easy to create an extra $1,000 to $10,000 a month in extra income with this program, depending on how long you've been with the company and how many people you have brought into the company or brought in as clients. Now, where do you go to learn more about the program? Well, the next step that I would take if I were you is to write down these web addresses and then just go poke around. Okay, worthclient.com is my, what I call, replicated website. If you formally join the company, you will get a website just like that for yourself. It'll have your name and phone number and everything on it. There's 3 short videos on there. They're about 10 minutes a piece. So you can watch the short overview videos. If that gets you excited, then you can watch the longer video at tinyurl.com/worthgps. That is actually an internal video. It is a recorded training for our referral agents, but it gets into the nitty-gritty of how the math on this program works and what it is about this program that makes it so different than anything else out there on the market today. Okay, and without watching that video, you'll never understand how different this program actually really is. Okay, then there's 3 other websites that I find very valuable. worthgps.com, that's my personal blog. worthunlimitedreviews.com, that's a company site, has some of our awards, it has some bios of some of our agents, etc. And then worthunlimited.com, which is the company's official website. So take a look at those and give me a ring. Like I said, I can get you started at absolutely no cost to you, no obligation. So you can just kind of get your feet wet, so to speak, or we can get you set up as a formal part of the company right away. Whichever way you feel most comfortable with. That's frankly how we do business. As I said, we've got an A+ rating in the Better Business Bureau that says that people are very comfortable with not only our product, but also the process that they go through to either become a client or to become part of the company. Our company is all about education, and in our sales process, we don't try to hard sell people. We basically educate them on the product, what the product's going to do for them, and we let them make their choices. And that's how we do with people like yourself who are considering coming on board as part of our referral network. We educate you on your options, and then it's up to you whether you want to move forward or not. So give me a ring. Happy to chat with you at any time. I'm available on the weekends, early part of the evenings, most days. If I'm not available, just leave me a message. I'll call you right back. Thank you for being on the webinar here today and or the video if you're watching it later. Oh, and by the way, the analysis hotline over there on the right. If you are interested in having your own analysis done right now before you even speak to me, you can call that analysis hotline and set up a free analysis for yourself. Okay, just tell them that you were referred by me. And as I mentioned before, you just need to be in front of your computer when the appointment happens. You can call in anytime. You can call in from your car, whatever. Just need to be in front of your computer when the appointment happens. And they will run your numbers and show you exactly when you personally could be debt-free. Thanks for being on the call here today, and I hope to talk to you soon.